Hello everyone, Battering in today's third video. So we're doing the 10 to 14 day video update for today's video. Day 10 is going to take us to around the 25th of August, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that via set of GFS and ECM ensembles running to around a couple of weeks. 2 weeks out will get us pretty much to the end of August now. Can you believe? So, yes, I'll bring you up to date with all of the latest developments in terms of weather for the 10 to 14 day time frame. And we'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video, as always, for the next 4 weeks. So, it's been a busy day at GavsWeatherVids so far today. We started off with Stormwatch. There's going to be a risk of thunderstorms over this weekend, especially so again tomorrow and through to Monday. Will be some big showers around today as well. Those, have a look at Stormwatch, see what's going on there. And also, of course, weekend forecast. Weekend look ahead, as always, on a Saturday. That was the second video release today. We've got one more still to come. We're going to be looking in detail at the bank holiday weekend for the first time. It's just within the GFS time frame now, and that will be coming up as your second video update later on this evening, probably around 6 or 7 o'clock, something like that. Very busy day tomorrow, so we're going to have GavsWeatherVids sitting around, of course, some autumn analogs, but we will be live streaming as well at 6 o'clock. And of news of the Beijing Climate Centre in Malaysia. You know that Beijing Climate Centre has been inaccessible, or we thought it was inaccessible. There's been a bit of a turn up for the books on that. And I will have news about Beijing Climate Centre Winter 2020-21 forecast from last month, from July, in the live stream tomorrow from 6 o'clock. More about that at the end of the video. Right, let's get on with it then. We're going to start off with Tropical Atlantic. So we've got 2 tropical storms now. You remember yesterday's video, we had a disturbance area off the east coast of the States. Well, that has developed very quickly into a tropical storm. It's Tropical Storm Kyle. And this is going to have impacts on our weather through the middle part of the week. More in a moment, but let's start off with Josephine. So we've still got Tropical Storm Josephine just here, much further south in the tropical Atlantic. Tropical Storm Josephine is giving maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. I mean, these tropical storms can pack a real punch in their own terms. They're not hurricanes, but they can pack a real punch. If you think that, like, maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour, so gusts could easily be going up to 60, 70, 80 miles per hour. With that. So maximum sustained of 45 miles per hour, moving west-northwest was at 15 miles per hour. Clicking on Josephine, this is what's forecast to happen. So this is not forecast to become a hurricane, it's forecast to stay as Tropical Storm Josephine, moving in that sort of direction in the next few days into the early part of next week, and then curving over to Bermuda as a post-tropical depression through sort of the middle part of next week. So by around Wednesday, Thursday, could well be impacting Bermuda as a post-tropical depression. So Josephine is going to be a long-lasting storm, of course, until like the latter part of next week. And then, of course, we also have Tropical Storm Kyle. So this one is giving maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour with a minimum sense pressure of 1002 millibars, moving east-northeast was quite quickly at 21 miles per hour, much further north than Josephine is. So, Tropical Storm Kyle is currently in this position just here, and is forecast to move like due westwards into the middle of the North Atlantic through the early part of next week. Going post-tropical, will be a post-tropical storm by that point as it gets into the middle of the North Atlantic. Now, it's going to get caught up in the jet stream and combine with another area of low pressure that will be sitting in the North Atlantic, and it could all sort of whip itself up and give us a very wet and windy spell of weather around Wednesday, Thursday next week. So, yes, Tropical Storm Kyle is going to have some indirect, anyway, or maybe even quite direct impacts on the UK and also on Ireland's weather as well. It's a funny old season this so far with these systems, because we've had lots and lots of tropical storms. We are already up to letter K, which is well into like the list of names for this season, way into it. It's only the 15th of August. We're already up to letter K, but most of these have been like quite short-lived tropical storms. We haven't had that many hurricanes yet. Still early in the season, of course. We've got the rest of August, September and October to go. It'll be interesting to see whether we start moving from tropical storms into more severe hurricanes in the next month or so. Will be quite interesting to see. But so far, loads of tropical storms, not all that many hurricanes, but certainly very, very active. To be already up to letter K and only on the 15th of August is really unusual. So it could be, we could be going into the phonetic alphabet with these names, or is it the Greek alphabet that they use? I forget. But we could get through the official list of names and go on to the second alphabet later on in the season at this rate. It will be interesting to see what happens. Right, coming back closer to home, this is how temperatures look currently looking from XC Weather. So, quite warm actually where we've got sunshine. 25 degrees is flashing away there at Keswick. And we've also got sort of low 20s in other areas where the sunshine is out. Leek is at 20 degrees, for example. East Midlands Airport is at 21. Wittering is at 19, moving down to Lake Heath 19. That's cooler towards the east coast. Lots of low cloud being dragged in there. Findingdales is at just 14 degrees and Bridlington at 17. And then down in the south, where again we've got quite a lot of cloud and showers, only 17 degrees at Boscombe Down. Bournemouth is at 19, Forney Island is at 20, Lydd is at 23, and then moving up to London, only 19 at Heathrow. When you think that a couple of days ago, it was like 34, 35, 36 degrees in these southern areas. It has been a significant drop in temperature that we've experienced. But we are still within a very warm and humid air mass, and so we can, when the sun comes out, the temperature will rocket, and then we are at risk of sending off big showers and thunderstorms as well, with the residual heat and humidity that's still left over from the heat wave. By the middle of this coming week, we're going to go to an Atlantic-driven air mass, and that should be like the final end of the humidity, really. But we've got a couple more days of potentially quite big thunderstorms to come, especially tomorrow, Monday, possibly on Tuesday as well. This hour, weather warnings are looking from the UK Met Office. So, current for today's severe weather warnings, current weather warnings are more for southern parts of the country. Let's click on that. So, yes, it's kind of like the south and east Midlands, East Anglia, central, southern, south east England, down to the southwest England, and into southwest parts of Wales as well. Heavy showers and thunderstorms are possible in a few places, leading to possible flooding and travel disruption in this southern southeastern corner. Tomorrow, though, the storms are more widespread, covering most of England and Wales from Manchester southwards. Further heavy showers and thunderstorms are expected at times and may lead to some flooding and travel disruption. And then we've also got Monday, when again widespread thunderstorms looking possible for England and Wales. Let's click on that. Further heavy showers and thunderstorms are expected at times and may lead to some flooding or travel disruption across England and Wales with those thunderstorms on Monday. So, yeah, not quite so extensive with the storms today. There will be a few thunderstorms around in the south. I don't think they're going to be quite as extensive today, but tomorrow and Monday, big storms are possible once again as low pressure comes up from the south. South CT is currently looking, it hasn't updated today, actually, so this is provisional up to the 13th of August. We're standing at 19.5. 19.5 is where we're currently standing up to the 13th, anyway, provisional. That's 3.4 degrees above average. Now, this is going to tick down. How far this ticks down is very, very uncertain. I've been expecting that this would go down into the 17th, and we won't get an 18 Celsius CT August. But I've been looking at some of the data, and I've been looking at a post by my good friend Simon, aka Global Warming, on the forum at the Weather Outlook, and he's normally pretty good with his predictions. Do check out Weather Outlook forum CT Fred in the Weather Outlook forum. So he's always pretty good with his projections. He's projecting, very interestingly, in another video I might actually show you his projection charts, actually, if he doesn't mind. I'll have to check with him. But he's projecting that we'll probably, by like the last couple of days of August, we'll probably be sitting somewhere around 18.3. That's his projection. So not coming down as much as I have thought. And also, very, very unusually, he thinks that the CET provisional number, this 19.5, is actually slightly undercooked. And actually it's a little bit higher than that. Now normally when we get to month's end, you know that we would normally get a downwards correction. But if global warming's projections are correct for this month, then we might actually get our first, or I think just about the first ever upwards correction. It might actually be corrected upwards rather than downwards when we get to month's end, and that might be enough to actually keep us in the 18s and give us our first 18 Celsius CET August since 2003, which was one of the predictions or possibilities that we came up with for the summer forecast. So if we do manage to keep the CT in the 18s for this month, then that will be really good news. GavsWeatherVids summer forecast. I think it's early days. We've still got another 2 weeks of this month to go. If we get any more warm weather, then that will help definitely to keep us in the 18s. But even without that, it is possible we might just about cling on to an 18 Celsius CET month. I thought it'd come down quite a bit more than that, but it's the warm nights, I think, that's keeping CET held up, even as the days are cooling down. And also the fact that we are, that provisional number there is a little bit below where it probably is actually, and we may actually get an upwards correction, which is very, very unusual. We don't get many of those at all. Normally, it's always corrected downwards. So if we do get an upwards correction at the end of the month, then that will be something that is very, very unusual. Now, having said all of that, we are going into a much cooler and much more unsettled spell of weather. So we just got to wait and see how far that CET falls over the next sort of week to 10 days. To couple of weeks. These are the 500 millibar height only flow charts of Penn State University for the next week to 10 days, taking us to around the 25th of August with the ECM on the top and the GFS on the bottom. So 500 millibars is an area in actually high pressure, low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream. Red extrapolates high pressure, blue to low pressure. You can see that with the ECM, we've got a big trough of below average height sitting over and just to the north of the country. The jet stream is pushed southwards as well. We're pushing the jet stream southwards and we're setting up an area of high pressure up over Greenland. So hints of northern blocking, sending the jet stream southwards and sending us into a cool and unsettled, potentially very unsettled spell of weather. The GFS is very similar. So again, we see that we have got this deep trough of low pressure sitting over and to the north of the country. Jet stream again is pushed south. We are just about on the cool side of the jet there, so temperatures will take quite a drop in the 7 to 10 day time frame. And yeah, low pressure will produce showers, long spells of rain. Again, there is a northern blocking signal here up towards Greenland. So cool and unsettled on both the GFS and ECM in the 7 to 10 day time frame, and what damage that does to the position of where we are with CT remains to be seen. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. Looking at London today, the red light spurred to your upper air temperature average. We're still above average. It's come down a lot over the past 3 days or so. Remember around Wednesday we was up here before the thunderstorms broke out. We was close to 20 degrees at 850 HPA. Then on Thursday we were somewhere around there. Yesterday we were somewhere around there, and today we're just here. We're still above average even today with the upper air temperatures, but day by day these temperatures have been reducing. In the next couple of days we're actually going to go close to the 30-year upper air temperature average. You're more or less going to reach parity with the 30-year upper air temperature average. Then around the middle of next week, temperature lifts up, but that is associated with the deep area of low pressure I was talking about that does contain the remains of Tropical Storm Kyle. So the reason the upper air temperature is lifting up there is that we're bringing in briefly like a push of air from the tropics, from like Tropical Storm Kyle. It will form a deep area of low pressure, and that's going to see temperature then really sliding potentially into the last week of August. Right at the very end of the month, just here, there might be a bit of a warming trend showing up then. But I think the main damage to the CT is going to be done in this sort of position just here from like the 23rd to 27th, 28th of August, just there. That's when we could lose the 18 Celsius CT August. But we shall see about that. But definitely, like, staying quite warm. Excuse me, and temperature's a bit up and down, and then cooler as going to the last week of August. Precipitation-wise, plenty of rainfall to come. There can be lots of rainfall to come. All of this stuff is like thundery stuff at the start, and then we're going into Atlantic-driven, wet and windy sort of weather as we go from the middle of next week onwards. Temperature anomalies on the 15th, 23rd of August, still holding up a bit above average. You're nowhere near as hot as it was a few days ago, but nevertheless, from the 15th, 23rd of August, we are still a little bit above average. Rainfall anomalies on the 15th, 23rd of August, going to be wetter than average for most parts of the country, particularly for those more western areas. That's how the latest wind flow map is looking from earthnullschool.net. So we're still drifting in these easterly winds, really. Winds are still coming in from like an easterly direction. We've got low pressure down here. Low pressure just generally a little bit more dominant in the Atlantic as well. Still the last vestiges of the ridge that gave us heat wave left across the northern parts of Europe. But that ridge is weakening all the time. If we overlay the temperature, there we go, if we overlay the temperature contrast, so that's how it looks. So again, you see temperatures have lowered quite a bit over the past few days. Still pretty warm in the south and the southeast, but generally, yes, temperatures are lowering. By the way, let's just very quickly go back to the wind flow. So there we go. You can actually make out Tropical Storm Kyle here. That is Tropical Storm Kyle just there. That's circulation just there. So you can see what's going to happen with Kyle moving in that sort of direction, and then probably heading our way through the middle part of next week as quite a deep area of low pressure. This is how the GFS is looking for Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we've still got the thundery low over the country, sitting across central parts of the country. Got low pressure in the Atlantic. One of these systems will contain the remains of Tropical Storm Kyle. All those low pressures sort of form just one quite big area of low pressure from Wednesday to Thursday. Say the remains of Tropical Storm Kyle getting caught up in that area of low pressure. It's an unusually deep low for August with a central pressure of 980 millibars, bringing wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic as we move into the end of next week. That's how it looks as we get to Friday. As far as we can go with UK Met is to Friday, 21st of August. We've got a 975 millibar area of low pressure just to west of I, which is very, very deep for August. That's kind of like the sort of pressure you will get in like the middle of the autumn, late autumn, really 975 millibars. So quite an autumnal sort of pattern setting up there with bouts of rain and heavy showers. Strong winds too coming in off the Atlantic. This is how the GFS 6Z is rolling. So again, we've got thundery low over country on Tuesday. Then we've got this deep low racing in off the Atlantic, rattling in as we go from Wednesday through to Thursday, bringing wet and windy weather with it. Into the end of the week and next weekend, we're looking unsettled here over the weekend with low pressure bringing showers or longer spells of rain, and it will be turning cooler as well. Notice the wind direction is turning into the northwest. It's a long sea track with that, but this time of year that actually makes the air a little bit cooler. In the winter that would sort of warm the air up a little bit with a long sea track, but this time of year that will make the air quite cool. And so we go through to like next weekend and we are looking cool and showery. Then we get to day 10 and we're still looking pretty unsettled even then, with low pressure still in the ascendancy bringing further showers, if not some longer spells of rain, and temperatures will be quite cool as well. In a more extended range, this GFS run starts to build in some higher pressure and starts to turn the winds more towards an east-southeasterly. That will start to drag up much warmer air from off the continent as we come into the closing days of August. That would probably seal the deal on an 18 Celsius CET month, I would have thought. But of course, it's a very long way out. It's like 2 weeks away. But like the closing days of the month, which does, by the way, include the bank holiday weekend. We are going to have a look at bank holiday weekend in detail this evening. But the closing days of the month with this particular GFS run actually turning quite warm. This is how the GM is looking. So again, thundery low, still rattling around the country on Thursday. Then through Wednesday, on Tuesday, I should say, Wednesday and Thursday, we change the air mass, bringing the air in off the Atlantic, wet and windy stuff coming in from the Atlantic. That low does contain the remains of Tropical Storm Kyle. Moving up towards day 10, we have further areas of low pressure with showers, longer spells of rain spiralling around below. Winds are turning into the northwest as well, so temperatures will be getting cooler. And the ECM looks like that. So again, thundery low still sitting over the country on Tuesday. That finally clears away from Wednesday to Thursday, but only at the expense of this unseasonably deep area of low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic. Now let's try and work out what the central pressure is with this, because that's the 985 millibar line just then. So just there. So that's going to be 980. This one will be 975. So this ice bar just here is actually going down to 970 millibars. The ECMWF is forecasting a 970 millibar area of low pressure containing the remains of Tropical Storm Kyle to be sitting just to the west of Ireland at midnight on Thursday. I'm not sure if that would be an August record minimum pressure, but it must be getting towards it. That must be getting towards a record low pressure for the North Atlantic in August, 970 millibars. Into Friday, it continues to be very unsettled with low pressure again rattling in from off the Atlantic, and as it clears eastwards, we turn winds into the north and northwest, start to bring cooler stuff in from the northwest too. And as we head up towards day 10, we have low pressure bringing further showers, if not longer spells of rain as well, and temperatures continue to be quite disappointing up to day 10. This is a rainfall forecast based on that ECM run from Tameteo.com. Showers in the south today. They're going to get more widespread and start to drift northwards as well into the evening and overnight. Then tomorrow, big thunderstorms possible. Big thunderstorms possible tomorrow. Drifting in from the south and from the east during the afternoon of the evening. I'm scheduled to be live streaming at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So we might hear some more thunder in the background at GavsWeatherVids Towers. We'll have to wait and see. We go through to Monday. Again, low pressure means further showers, long spells rain. There could be some thunder mixed in. Still with that thundery low into Tuesday. A rather quieter day on Wednesday, but only ahead of that very unseasonably deep area of low pressure, bringing proper wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic Wednesday night through to Thursday. And then into second half next week, we have this big low churning away, autumnal sort of low, churning away just to the south of Ireland, bringing showers or longer spells of rain and strong winds as well. Winds could gust up to gale force some point in the north and west through the second half of this week. Very unseasonable indeed. And quite remarkable after such a protracted period of hot and dry weather as well. What a really bizarre summer this has been. We get to day 10 and we're still looking quite unsettled even then, with low pressure bringing further spells of rain. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10. Gets us to the 25th of August. Have 19 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure over top of the country, so they're looking unsettled and pretty cool too. 18 with low pressure again over country and to our east, we're bringing in winds from a westerly direction, and 14 with low pressure to our western north, again bringing in the winds from west. All options looking unsettled at day 10. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. This is going to get us to the 30th of August. Have 12 members of the ECM ensembles with low pressure to our north and high pressure to our south. Winds are sort of flat westerly with those. Maybe turn a little bit dry and warmer down in the south. 11 with low pressure over top of the country. Obviously, that's going to be very unsettled. 10 with high pressure just out to our west, low pressure to our east. Winds will be coming in from the north with that one. 9 with low pressure down to the southwest, high pressure down to the southwest, should say, low pressure to the northeast. A little bit drier with that option, perhaps quite cool. And then another 9 with high pressure just to the north of Scotland, low pressure to our southeast. That's bringing like an east-southeasterly flow. That could be the warmest option, actually, but might be thundery, especially so for the south. Generally still looking pretty mixed with most of those options right the way through to the end of August. Finding CFSV2, these are 500 millibar heights breaking down to week periods. The first week period takes from 15th to 21st of August. The coming week sees a high pressure to our north and northeast, declining low pressure to our west and southwest, ascending, so it's turning more unsettled. And of course, it does initially involve thunder, and then we go into wet and windy weather by sort of Wednesday, Thursday. Into week 2, which is the 22nd, 28th of August, low pressure dominates, coming in from off the Atlantic with quite a strong westerly flow as well. So cool and unsettled with that. Nothing really else to say. Week 3 is the 29th of August, 4th of September. Low pressure again is out to the northwest, high pressure up towards Greenland and Iceland. Winds are in from a westerly direction. And then week 4 is going to be the 5th to the 11th of September. Still looking quite unsettled. Hints of high pressure towards Greenland. Hints of northern blocking. Low pressure to west of Ireland again. Probably bringing in the jet stream from off the Atlantic. So yeah, in week 4 also looking quite unsettled. As we said in May Friday yesterday, this could be like quite an autumnal start to the autumn. Okay, that's it then. So it's been a rather extended one today. I hope you found it interesting and informative. If you enjoyed the video, then please give us a like. Let us know in the comments what you think, and make sure you're subscribed to the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel. So we've got the first update for the Bank Holiday weekend coming up tonight. Bank Holiday weekend updates will be getting underway tonight. Tomorrow, very busy day. We've got GavsWeatherVids Sunny Roundup. We'll also have some more autumn analogues. And tomorrow in the live stream, I'm going to bring you news of the Beijing Climate Centre. If you want to know what Beijing Climate Centre was forecasting for winter 2020-21 last month, then I'll have news about that in our live stream from 6 o'clock tomorrow. And of course, we will be discussing thunderstorms and whatnot in that one as well. Okay, for this video though, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching.